The Islander. Mayu grew up listening to his grandmother's stories around the campfire. She told magical tales about Kochi, the island where they lived. The tales were about drops of sunlight striking the ocean floor and erupting into mountains, about heroes ripping fire monsters out of the sea, and about fishermen hooking islands and pulling them together to form island chains. The stories made Mayu feel connected to his part and to his family and friends sitting around the fire. But the spell from the stories always wore off the next morning. Mayu did not fit in with the islanders. His heart felt empty. Mayu did not know how to swim. "You're not a true islander like us," the children would tease. They spent the day swimming on the beach, paddling under the waterfalls, and helping fishermen bring in their daily catch. But Mayu spent his time exploring the small island instead of the waters around it. Mayu would walk through the jungle. He found small streams full of fish, dark caves, and paths that led to the top of the volcano. He felt more at home among the rocks and trees than in the waves of the ocean. The village chef had scolded Mayu several times. "True islanders fish and swim," he said. "They do not climb trees." One day a giant typhoon hit the village. The winds battered the trees. White, murky waves slammed into the beach. Mayu remembered his grandmother's story about the god of storms. The god would sweep away everything by blowing his terrible breath over the island. A few hours later, the storm calmed. Mayu peeked outside and saw a bright sky shining through a hole in the clouds. They were in the eye of the storm. Mayu walked outside and saw red-brown water lapping on the beach. Mayu recalled the stories about the red sand crab king who would push the ocean deep into the island. Forests and homes would be covered. The water wouldn't stop until it reached the old stones far inland. The red sand must mean that the back end of the storm will flood the entire shore, Mayu thought. He knew just then what had to be done. He raced to warn all the villagers. "We must get to the old stones," he told them. "It is the only way we will be safe." The villagers listened to Mayu. Everyone escaped high into the island hills, past the old stones. Behind them, the entire shoreline was being swallowed by the huge waves. Mayu took the villagers to a cave. They huddled together and lit a fire to keep warm. Mayu told the villagers stories as the storm raged across the island. The next morning, Mayu and the villagers awoke. The sun was shining brightly. The typhoon had passed. Slowly, they all climbed out the cave and returned to the side of their village. The village had been destroyed. The chef walked up to the walked up to Mayu. "You saved our lives, Mayu," he said. "If you had not explored the jungle, you would not have known where to take us. I should not have scolded you before. You are a true islander." Mayu's grandmother hugged him tight. Mayu was filled with pride. One by one, the villagers thanked Mayu, and for once, Mayu's heart felt completely full.